And it's really important for us to identify, these new world businesses, but it's also really important to avoid growth traps. Growth investing is really hard. It's really hard to identify companies that have those long-term sustainable competitive advantages that don't sunset after 3 to 5 years. We want to avoid businesses that have low or no growth, that are generally your cyclical style businesses that really have a commoditized product. They don't have anything special that they're offering. They just have a lower price point. We also want to avoid companies that have really high competition in their marketplace, something like a Netflix. The streaming services are really, really difficult to find out who's going to be, the number one in the video sense. And it's really, really capital intensive. You think something like Netflix, they're going to continue to have to reinvest and create more content. And you don't get a lot of utility, a lot of use out of, creating, new TV series. They really have a one-off effect. Like you spend, hundreds of millions of dollars in making one TV series. You're going to watch it once. You're not going to continue watching it over and over and over again. So it's really capital intensive to stay, relevant, and the consumer or their revenues aren't going to stay with them. The consumer is going to switch between Netflix or a Disney or a Hulu or a Stan or a Foxtel. There's not a lot of, it's not really sticky. So we can't really find out who's going to be number one in that industry. So we're really going to avoid it. We also want to avoid early stage businesses where we don't have a lot of, look through into how predictive their revenues are going to be. Something like a Rivian, for example, where it's a really exciting business and their product offering looks really really interesting. They're just far too early stage to someone like a Tesla, which is our number one holding in our portfolio. So Rivian's going through the production hell that Tesla did 5 to 7 years ago. And while they could get there in the future, for us as Hyperion, it's a lot too early stage. We don't want to invest there yet. And similarly, like a DoorDash or a Peloton, there's nothing really exciting or unique about the offering that they have. They're just trying to be first to market, lowest price point. And that's going to be really difficult for them in the future to grow their revenue lines in a very predictable manner and to actually be able to own that consumer for an extended period of time. So we really want to find these businesses that have large total addressable markets, can take market share from their competitors and continue to do that for the foreseeable future, into 7 to 10 years and even beyond that. And there's just a few examples there on the screen of companies that we like.